What's up guys, Peter here from Reviews on Anything, and you're looking at the Lumina 750 from NiteRider. Now NiteRider obviously makes bike lights, and we've actually been on a bit of a bike light spree recently here on Reviews on Anything. And this is the most powerful light so far, as you can probably guess by the name. 750 stands for the maximum amount of lumen output, and I can tell you that 750 is quite a lot. Now, what do we have here? This is, according to NiteRider, their best-selling light in the history of the company. So that's great. And thanks to the enormous light output of 750 lumen, it is a light that can be used in virtually any kind of condition, they say. Which I suppose is true, although I can't really see why you need a super bright light when you're biking through your street at home. But that's details. So what do we get? Let's look around the unit. It's first thing you know when you pick it up is that it's quite heavy compared to other lights. It weighs 172 grams, which is not that much in itself. But you can imagine that if you look at lights with a lot less output and a lot less battery life, that they're quite a lot lighter. It's a very interesting design, as you can see, with the sort of gills, I suppose you can call them, or grooves here on the side. Same thing here on the top and on the other side, which probably has something to do with the cooling, because you can imagine 750 lumens creates quite a lot of heat that has to be dissipated somewhere. So I can imagine this is for the cooling. The top here has the power button, which lights up blue when it's on. We'll get back to that in a minute. It actually lights up red when you're below 20% battery, so that's a nice touch that you can always tell when you need to charge it. We got the NiteRider logo here, the Lumina logo here on the sides. On the business end, obviously we have the single LED bulb, which produces 750 lumen at maximum output. And then on the bottom we have a slot here for the handlebar or helmet mount. And we have a little flap here for the micro USB charging port. I hope you can see that properly on camera. You don't get a charging brick included, but you do get a charging cable included in the packaging, so that's nice. And the other thing that you get in the packaging is the handlebar mount, which is a rubber strap here that goes around your handlebars and then is attached around so. And then you slide the light on till it's in place, and then you're good to go. When you want to take it off, you just peel this lever back, I suppose, and you can unslide it, and you can take your light inside for charging and it won't get stolen. So this is installed probably once on your bike, and then you just probably leave it there forever, or as long as you use the light at least, and the light you can just slide on and off and you're good to go. So the outside might be, rugged and tough, but what is on the inside is what really matters. There is a 2900 milliamp battery inside, which is pretty astonishing for such a small package. You can imagine that most smartphones these days have batteries similar sized. Obviously, depending on how high of a setting you use, that battery will run out sooner or later. There is no less than 4 steady modes and 1 flash mode. So depending on your environment, you can set it on high beam, slightly lower beam, or flashing beam, whatever it is that you prefer. Quick note there obviously is that not in every country or jurisdiction flashing, for example, is allowed. So make sure that it complies with your local rules and regulations, that you don't get your bike or your light confiscated or anything. Especially with such a powerful light, you will draw some attention to yourself, which is great, because that helps with traffic safety. That said, I have to say that a light this bright might also cause a bit of irritation and maybe even confusion in traffic. We've tested lights from Lausanne, for example, that were 400 lumens, and when biking around with those, I found that they were sort of a good mix of being seen and drawing attention to yourself, but not so bright that it's overpowering other motorists. And I find that pushing it up to 750, which is almost double the amount of lumens of that light. If you have this on your handlebars of your bike, you're usually a bit higher than a car's headlight, and you're shining straight through people's windows. And it can be quite blinding for motorists sometimes, especially when you hit a funny angle or whatever. 750 lumens in your rearview mirror and then into your eyes is not a very pleasant feeling. So be aware that when you have this light on the full setting, on the full 750, that you have to, maybe aim it down a little bit more in order not to blind people. Because in the end, you want to be safe, but you also don't want to make other people feel uncomfortable or insecure in traffic by, taking their vision away or shining in their eyes. So that's something to notice. Now, a few more features of this light. It is obviously water resistant. It is actually IP64 certified, so you don't have to worry about any, sudden downpour. You can't go scuba diving with it, obviously, but any kind of weather you will be fine. And it has something called IntelliCharge, which means it will charge faster when you plug it into a higher amp charger, which is great. It also comes with a helmet mount, so if you want to have this on your helmet when you go off-roading, mountain biking or anything else, you can use this as well. But then you have to get the additional accessory, of course. Now, what do we make of this light? I'm not too much of a fan of the design. I think it looks a bit too funky for my taste, even though all the grooves and gills might have something to do with the cooling. But I like how solid it feels in the hand. I like the huge light output. And here comes the kicker. It's less than $100. So for that money, you get a lot of lumens for your money. It's only one bulb, but it's a very powerful bulb. And I think for $100, if you're willing to spend that kind of money on a bike light, this is a lot of lumens for your money. So you wouldn't say you can't really go wrong here, but you get a solidly built, high battery, high output, easy to charge, easy to mount bike light that is, I think, pretty complete in what it achieves to do and how it goes about achieving it. The one button operation couldn't be simpler, really. There's no settings, no dials to go through. It just goes on and off. You put it in the right mode and that's it. They also haven't overdone it with 27 different kinds of blinking, pulsating or other kind of modes. It's just high beam and slightly lower beams and a flash mode for during the day maybe, and that's it. So I think NiteRider actually has done a pretty good job in making a strong, a powerful and a simple light, yet at a very affordable price point. I would also even say that the mounting strap might not be the last word in design and elegance, but it is functional and it is rugged and it is getting the job done. You put this on once and you're good to go. And it's a simple accessory that makes your life simpler. You don't have to fiddle around for hours making sure it sits right. You just put it on once and all is well. And even the sensitive part, the rubber, is not going to wear out because you just put it on once and it sits there. Altogether, I think they've created a pretty good package and a pretty compelling package at the price point that is certainly worth your consideration. This is Peter from Reviews on Anything with a look at the Lumina 750 from NiteRider. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!